Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the international webinar event, The Future of Remote Work and Hybrid Work Model. First, let me introduce myself. I am Novita and I will host you for today's event. Now, let me welcome our special guest for today. Welcome to the Honorable Miss Olena Semenog. As a Doctor of Pedagogical Science, Professor Head of the Care of Ukraine Language and Literature, from Sumi State Pedagogical University, to the Honorable Miss Marharyta Parshyna, as a Ph.D. in Economic Science, Associate Professor of International Economy Relations and Regional Study Department from University of Custom and Finance, to the Honorable Miss Yala Asgarova, as a Senior Lecturer and English Language Department from Western Caspian University, to the Honorable Mr. Setiyo Nugroho M.Kom, as the Lecturer of Computer System Department from STEKOM University, Indonesia. And last but not least, also to the Honorable guests and audience today. Before we begin, I have a few housekeeping notes here. Today's session is being live streamed on Universitas STEKOM YouTube channel. And for today's event, we will start with Indonesia national anthems and continue with the opening speech by Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso, represented by our lecturer. And in the next session, we will begin the main event presentation by our special guest for today and continue with Q&A session and take a picture for documentation and less time for closing. First, we will sing our national anthems for Mr. Jonathan. You can start the session today. Thank you. Okay, next we will invite the most responsible person to the conduct the skill international event to give an opening speech for Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso, represented by Mr. Wibi Ardialfianto as a lecturer of communication visual design.
Start. Okay, thank you, Ms. Novita. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, scholars, and participants from around the world. Good morning and welcome to this prestigious international webinar event. I stand before you today with a great honor and privilege as a representative of STEKOM University instead of our esteemed rector, who due to the unforeseen circumstance could not be here with us today. Nevertheless, I assure you that the spirit of our university and the commitment to this international webinar event remain unwavering. Today, we gather here, virtually from across the globe, united by a common purpose to engage in meaningful dialogue, share knowledge, and foster collaboration on the future of remote work and hybrid work models, a topic of paramount importance today. Despite the physical distance that spared us, the digital realm has brought us together in a way that transcends borders. This is a treatment to the power of technology and the importance of continuous learning and global connection. I want to thank all you, the participants, distinct speakers, and the organizing committee for your dedication and enthusiasm in making this event reality. Your presence here demonstrates your commitment to advancing knowledge and addressing our world's challenges. Through this webinar, we have the privilege of hearing from experts and those leaders who will share the insight, experience, and expertise, the future of remote work and hybrid work model. Please actively participate at ask questions and engage in discussion to maximize this valuable opportunity. As we continue today's discussion, let us remember that exchanging ideas and collaborating across borders is essential to finding innovative solutions to global issues. Let us harness the collective wisdom of this diverse audience to drive positive change in our respective fields. In closing, I want to reaffirm our commitment in the participle principles of education, cooperation, and international understanding that bring us together today. Let us honor this principle by actively engaging in the upcoming session and forging new connections that will edu beyond the confidence of this virtual event. So, thank you for your attention and without further delay, and let us begin this international webinar on the future of remote work and hybrid work models. I am confident that our shared pursuit of knowledge know no bounds. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the conduction. And we will go to the main event for our audience. If you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat and we'll be answer to some of the during the Q&A session after each presenter already presentation. And today each presenter will have about 30 minutes for presentation. Now let's please welcome our first presenter, Miss Jala Asgarova, as a senior lecturer at English Language Department from Azerbaijan. Yeah, for Miss Jala, the time is yours. Thank you. Oh,
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm so sorry. We had some technical waiting here. Right now I'm going to share my screen for. Okay. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Firstly, I want to start to explain my idea about remote work and about remote learning. So, the first one, let me tell you what is remote work in general situation. A brief information I want to give. Especially the shortage opinion of whether remote work can be better or it can spell some distraction for our business too, and also education too. I don't know, with the quotation mark, I want to mention that thanks to pandemic or COVID-19, we experience remote work or education. So it also seems like in one situation, we have to change the position from face-to-face learning to a physical classroom. In other case, we can call it learning or studying or working online. And especially in all situations, what we need to do, we try to actuate for learners. So for some reason, it can have for physical problems or I don't know, some global problems, as you know, from COVID-19, we had this one. So in any situation, we try to be survived with these kind of situations. We have to have this remote learning. And the main thing for remote studying or learning is just we have to choose the right tools for learning, for working. And another thing is that also the right environment, studying and learning environment too. Together, a little bit, I want to mention especially the advantages. It has a pros and cons with this one. If it comes to advantages, we can say that we don't need to waste our time to go to somewhere at just the same place, just remaining the same place, we can do our work. If it is student or I don't know, employer or business, so it doesn't matter in all cases. And we try to keep interaction with the opponent of this situation too. It also gives the chance or opportunity to always, we say that globalization, it also gives us to have this globalization to go to world, to exchange the ideas or to exchange the work that we have in general situation. If it comes to the negative side of remote work, definitely I want to share this one, that it comes from the health side, especially if it comes to physical and social health too. The health side, we all know is that comes from sedentary life. People used to have the active life, but with the remote work, they change it into let's say the passive, because sedentary life will help them to leave the passive side of activity. And also people, for a while, people lose the interaction with each other too. So activeness will get decreased day by day also. As it comes to technology, some technical problems we cannot remove tier 2. Some IT issues that can be really difficult to fix is that, especially we experience in the COVID-19 period. So if it comes to teaching or working from home or from office, I think it's not so easy, because firstly we have to create the environment, the working and teaching environment for employers, for students, for teachers. You know, here we have different sides, learners and teachers or workers, business people. The main thing, we have to create this environment for them. Here they have to know a little bit about some technical things that we used to have, and to create the video conference that we used to have too, and also to drive the cloud storage too. If it comes to the special schedule for a meeting, beforehand it had to be planned, because beforehand the workers, the learners have to be informed about these kind of situations, because they have planning their work, they have planning their lessons. And we shouldn't forget about the chat messaging, because it's really important to keep interaction with the opponent sides to the other sides too. We shouldn't forget about the technical ability of people, because you know, it definitely related if it comes to digital learning, if it comes to remote work, or MOOC workforce. So all of them definitely relates to technological ability or skills of people that do it definitely. Another main thing that I want to mention is that how it happens, how people change in one situation, they change their places. For example, as we mentioned, from one place, from home to work, or from home to office, or just only from work, they can do everything. As a teacher, definitely I want to mention that if it comes to teaching, definitely teachers and students or learners, all types of educational people, they prefer it to especially at home. And the hybrid workplace definitely changed the situation here. So what I want to say, if it comes to home, in some situation for students, it was a little bit difficult. But if it comes to business, mostly they prefer the office working. So changing from one place to another, I think it doesn't make great sense for business people, but it makes great sense for learners, for students too. But I want to say that if it comes to a hybrid workplace, it's a little bit different compared to previous one, because in COVID-19 we used to have completely different workforce for hybrid workplace. But if we compare it to today's one, so we see a little bit different. What I want to say is that especially the amount of people that we have in real situation of working to, more individuals, more remote people, and also compared to pre-pandemic when it was on-site and off-site too. And also employers don't necessarily need to schedule which days they can come, because beforehand they plan the meeting with the remote way in advance too. And one more thing I want to mention is that the transition for employers to become remote or hybrid worker, and also shifting their real time opposed to being the specialist schedule, it is mostly about the today's workforce, hybrid workforce too. If it comes to teaching, so I want to mention some situations that, some challenge that nowadays we experience for, not only nowadays, but the previous time we also experience as a teacher. Firstly, in this situation, remote working, we can have not only teacher and student, but also parents aside. We can find them too. That was sometimes a great problem when the parents random then come to the camera, and the teachers, they can just talk. Maybe it can come from hesitation. Maybe it can come from the inexperienced one. They are not enough experienced for teaching online too. In all cases, as a teacher, we have to keep our student engaged in the situation, because students, they don't used to this kind of thing, to this kind of environment or situation. What we need to do, we try to find some special tricks for especially hybrid situation. For getting their attention, especially we need to do what some, right now we can find tons of website or tons of useful and interesting source for students for getting their attention to. And in all cases, we have to keep their motivation to of learning, especially of absorbing the new topics that we used to teach them to. In most cases, what kind of problems we can experience if we teach students? Sometimes we feel, sometimes we don't feel, that they just off their camera and just the student, the other side, they can sleep, or they can just do whatever they wish. This kind of situation is usual for hybrid situation, but what we need to do to get away with this kind of thing, again, I said, we have to keep their camera on always, and also keeping the interaction to their class, to the lesson. And maybe for a while it will be a great challenge for us to use them to this kind of situation, and to make them feel comfort, trying to keep their attention. We need to keep them active in all cases by calling their name very often. All of them, of course, I mean. So a little bit about the future of hybrid work, hybrid education. Future is unexpected. So right now, saying that definitely what we need to expect from future is really hard. And I think nothing can work for all the situation. Every situation, they have their own require, and every situation, they have their own situation. So what we need to do in all situations, I think that we need to use to find the single problem and the solution for this one. The main thing is that if it comes to hybrid working, if it comes to online or offline, it doesn't matter in all cases. We have to keep the balance of work from home or from office in all cases, and decided which problems we can experience, and what solution we can add there to solve this kind of problems too. And the main thing in all types of situation, I mean, if it comes to education, if it comes to work, the main thing is just to keep the effectiveness of the situation, to keep the learners, work, employer, and the business or education. We will need to find the main point for all organizations too. Yeah, and we'll need to keep the flexible arrangement for employers to have the option to work is on-site or off-site. It doesn't matter, to choose them, to blend the two based of the unique circumstances or preference too. if it comes to reality, I want to mention that so nowadays people's working hours increase. If we say that hybrid situation will change it, I think no, because maybe for vice versa situation, we can see that instead of doing the work at in the office or at the university or at school, we transfer all the situation to home. So it means we transfer our work to home, and that's not good for some situation because we forgot about the humans' physical condition too. And if we come to working effectively remotely, so I want especially the last one to mention that it is definitely depends on contextual situation. Which means definitely the people's working, people's balance of their task, and also how often they can do it, and in what effectiveness they can find it too.
Is it enough, Miss?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your information. And we continue to the Q&A session. For first question, we have the question from audience in the Zoom. From first question from Mr. Jonathan. This question for Miss Jala. What are the
Yes.
key trends shaping the future of remote work and hybrid work model, and how can organizations effectively navigate and capitalize on this change for increased productivity and employee satisfaction? Thank you.
Okay. About the future, if it comes to work remotely, I want to mention that the employers, so they mostly, I think, in the future life, even right now, we can say that people mostly prefer to work remotely because we had the thought that we don't need to waste our time on way. But another side, I want to say that it's not good because for example, instead of commuting, so we prefer to stay home. It can decrease the activeness of people. There's some physical condition we can experience with this one too. And also the interaction that we can have between people too. The employers, day by day, they can lose it too. But if it comes to activeness of the work, and if it comes to smooth of the work, I want to mention that I don't think that in the future life, by decreasing the amount of active life, we can get some effective in work too for employers too.
Okay, thank you for answering. And the second question from Ms. Kayla, how can business strategically implement and adapt to the evolving landscape of remote work and hybrid work model, considering both the technological advancement and the changing dynamic of employment? Thank you. Employee expectation to foster a more flexible and productive work environment. Thank you, Miss. For Miss Jocelyn, Miss Jala.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. We had some technical break. Can I get the question again, please?
Okay. How can business strategically implement and adapt to the evolving landscape of remote work and hybrid work model, considering both the technological advancement and the changing dynamic of employee expectation to foster a more flexible and productive work environment?
As I understand right now, you asked a question about some technical advances that we can have for remote working. Yes, I think yeah. as we live in consumer world, we shouldn't forget about the technologies that we have, and thanks to technology, we change our work of education, our work of employee as an employee too. So I think again, having the advanced technology, yes, will give us a lot of chance to improve the work. But again, so just only we shouldn't forget about the health side of people, because you know, as nowadays people mostly prefer to sit on computer just and do everything online. It doesn't give them the good side for their physical situation. So and one way is they get their sedentary life, which definitely advantage of their the whole life situation too. And if it comes to social health, so we shouldn't forget about the social activeness of people too. Maybe in the future life, yes, people maybe prefer to work remotely, but for me, it doesn't earn them the good thing that it doesn't advance their work. Again, as I mentioned, we have to keep the effectiveness of the tasks that we have for work, and also the activeness of life too.
Okay, thank you for answering. And the last question, this question from audience in the YouTube. What are the critical considerations and challenge organization must address when transitioning to or optimizing remote work and hybrid work model, and how can they leverage technology culture and policy to ensure long-term success and employee well-being? This question from Ms. Sukamto, audience in the YouTube. Thank you.
Okay, if it comes to psychological aspect of remote working, yeah, it shouldn't be, it should definitely mention that, yeah, technology, as we say that we live in technological world, but I think it doesn't give us the intelligence that we need. Honestly, the technology cannot be the intelligent one if we compare the people, of course, and I think it doesn't give us the opportunity of improving our social life. Again, I say right now we can find a lot of people that they are in them, they have their own world, they just prefer to have introvert life, which is not good for general situation. And instead of learning our word, instead of interacting with each other in a better way, we prefer to have the lone life, which is definitely to lead to some psychological problem too in the future. Maybe people prefer to live online. Maybe people try to earn, to earn more money, but we forgot about the health side, about the social advantage of the real situation.
Okay, thank you for answering. I think it's the answer from Professor. Okay, we will go to the next speaker, Mr. Adi Nugroho, as a lecturer of Computer System Department from STEKOM University, Indonesia. For Mr. Adi, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the time, Ms. Novita. Okay, I will share my PowerPoint. Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the time. Today I want to talk about what and how to success in the remote and hybrid work model. Okay, first I want to talk about the definition, because remote work and hybrid work is a little bit different. Remote work is also called telecommuting or telework or work from home and other space, is a practice of working from one home or another space rather than office. While hybrid work is arranged blend between traditional in-office work with out of office work. So between remote work and hybrid work, there is a little bit different. But when I'm talking about in this presentation, I assume the remote work is also hybrid work. But when we are talking about hybrid work, it means there is an office, but employee can work from the office or another remote location. This means that he can work with or without use of informational technology. So actually, when we are talking about hybrid work or remote work, it's already happen in the past time, in the very past time. For example, an artist, there is a gallery for selling their art, but I'm sure that the artist, the drawer, and then the painter didn't make the art on the gallery. They always have their own artwork, their own art shop. So they make their project on his home or on his place and then deliver the result to the office. So actually, hybrid work is not always only the recent technology. In the past, there is already some hybrid work, and but for today, technology is shaping the future of remote work because we have a technological development that's create easier for us to do a remote work. When we are talking about remote work, we need to have a robust technology infrastructure and tool. This is when we are talking about the today technology, today remote and hybrid work, not about the art that already happened in the past, but there is in today we almost many work that can be done can be work by using remote and hybrid work. So we need a robust technological infrastructure. Technology have a vital role in enabling successful remote and hybrid work arrangement. So when we are using remote and hybrid work, the company and the person also have investing in the right tool, investing in the right tool technology, just like internet connection and cyber security technology, and also for the company have provide an adequate training and support, so their employee can empower their remote workforce and create a better productivity in the digital workspace. So when we are talking the technology in the future of remote work, we have there is a lot of technology, but the most important, I guess, is the internet connectivity. Internet connectivity is set to revolutionize remote work by providing a faster internet speed and reducing latency. So when we are talking about this technology, when we live in the internet, in the slow internet, in the 2G or 3G, 2G or 3G connection, we cannot do just like video conferencing. Video conferencing is take a lot of data, so we need a faster internet connectivity. In the COVID-19, there is already available 4G technology, so we can do remote work easier by using a video conferencing and etc. But if we don't have good internet connectivity, we have a lot of problems, just like buffering, or just like we cannot send a large file, because when we are talking about today technology, today work, there is a lot of data, a lot of file that have very huge size, especially when we are talking about art or design or video. The size of file can reach more than 1 gigabyte. So internet connectivity is very important. And today we have new technology just like 5G. So internet connectivity will be better in the future. And the second one is a virtual collaboration tool. This is a very important tool for us to do communication, to do collaboration between employee in the remote area. The availability of virtual collaboration tool just like Zoom, Google Meet, or Microsoft Teams or Slack will create a seamless communication and collaboration without without thinking about the location, as long as there is a internet available. And the third one is cloud computing. Cloud computing is also important when we are talking about the remote work, because when we are talking about remote work, we have to send and share file. We can just, if we do remote, we cannot just send file through mail or through package, through flash disk that we deliver it directly to the person, but we need to share it. We need to share it to upload in internet, and then people can other employee can open and maybe modify our file that upload in the cloud computing. So cloud computing is also very important in the remote work system. And then artificial intelligence. This is a new technology, but it's really change our behavior and our protection, our productivity. In the simple way, for the most we use usually is real-time translation. AI can provide a real-time translation, just like Google Translate. So we can remove the boundary between nations. For example, if I want to understand the word in the Thailand language, I simply copy and paste. Whether this is the translate is good or not, but we still can understand what is the rating on the Thai board. So artificial intelligence is also help us in the future of remote work. And then virtual reality and augmented reality. This is the most future of the remote work, when we can create an area, an virtual meeting, create an area that we can do virtual meeting using a virtual reality, so we can feel just like we are enter to the virtual world. This is a lot of you can find it in the YouTube, just like from meeting VR or metaverse, that people can do just like a real-time meeting by using virtual reality. Of course, you have to use an avatar, not a real you, but you can do exactly just like what you want, just like a waving hand or writing something using a virtual reality. And then AR, augmented reality, can provide immersive learning experience at much lower cost than human driving training. AR, augmented reality, is a tool that usually used to deliver training or information through the just like a smartphone or iPad or smartphone or tab, that we can watch the image, and then from that image we can get a lot of information. This is a very important when we are doing a training in the remote work. So there's no need to send a person to give a training, but simply just give the application so the learner can learn from this technology. So AR also a future in the remote work. And the hybrid work or remote work model create a benefit. The benefit, of course, in the first one is cost saving. Hybrid work model contributes toward cost saving both employee and employer. Of course, because we don't have to go to office, we can save the money for us to the money for the transportation costs. So we can get we can do a little bit saving, and also for the company, they don't have to open the office, so they don't have to spend a lot of money in the maintenance of the office. Of course, it create a cost saving, and then because of this method, it increase employee efficiency and productivity. Hybrid work help increase employee efficiency and productivity. When we are looking at the reality, when we have to do just like traditional office work, we have to go to the office, and that takes time. That also make us tired. We still need a power to do the traveling, and the cost of traveling and the time of traveling can be eliminated using a hybrid work model. So this gives us a more time, more energy to work more efficient and more productive. And the third one is effective recruitment tool. Hybrid work can create effective recruitment tool because it gives the employer to give a freedom, a liberty to get a worker, to get an employee in anywhere in the world, because there is no office. People can work maybe in USA, in India, in Thailand, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, because we see that an American use employee from Indonesia to do just like design or just like create animation or create a video for them. So hybrid work model can create a recruitment without boundary. We can have an employee in anywhere. And then when we are talking about the past era, when we have a COVID, hybrid model of course create employee safety, because employee doesn't meet, so it can reduce the risk of infection. Since employees are healthy, they can give their best and can help organization to grow further. But when we are talking about this benefit, and the fact many of people didn't like remote working or hybrid working. There is a lot of complaint too when when in the COVID time, many people that say that I would like to work in office better than working in home. Because when we are talking about hybrid work or remote work, there is also a challenge. Now we are talking about the challenge. The challenge of hybrid work and remote work model is the first one is burnout or disruption of work or life balance. Long-term remote work increase employee of burnout and fatigue. This is the reality when we are in the COVID. We have maybe some people said that Zoom fatigue or tired when we are working in our home, in work it at home, because first we are talking about the psychological of condition in the hybrid work, in the remote work. Commuting to from the office and from the office create a physical and temporal separation between work and home. This is create a barrier from us. This is create a barrier from us. So we can separate when we are work and when we are relax at home. But when we work at home and there is no office, commuting from and to office, the transportation, the process working between office and home is disappear. So the barrier is dissolved. That make us challenge to separate our life from work. This is the reality when we face the COVID. We sometimes wake up very late because I will do the work at night. I will do the work at night. We just simply maybe have no boundary of time. So this make us become confused, become overworking, and then increase time spent on virtual call. It create a Zoom fatigue. Zoom fatigue is also a common in the hybrid mode, in the hybrid model when we are in the COVID pandemic. Zoom fatigue is because we doing meeting too much. We are doing meeting too much because meeting is easy in the remote technology, in the remote work. Sometimes we just said, oh, let's do the Zoom meeting. The boss said, let's do the Zoom meeting. And then suddenly we have a Zoom meeting 3 or 4 times in a day. So is it good? Because when we do meeting, we can do nothing. So this create a Zoom fatigue. This also create a company is seek to alternative way on collaborating that not require a meeting, because when we in the past time we do a lot of Zoom fatigue, and this is the reality because I have talked with my sister and my friend, and I said that sometimes they do Zoom meeting in do simultaneous Zoom meeting, 2 meeting in 1 hour. So the first meeting in the PC and the other one using his mobile phone. That's happened because our boss want to meeting with us, and we have a buyer or we have a customer that want to do meeting with us in the same time, and we cannot simply just, oh, sorry. So we have to deal with 2 people in the same time. That's create a fatigue, a tired Zoom fatigue. And then burnout from remote work, also especially from working parent or caretaker who found themselves juggling work and caretaker responsibility simultaneously with their home environment. This is the reality when we are talking about working in the hybrid work or in the remote work. When we live in the office, there is no disruption, disturbing effect from our child or from our pet, from our neighbor. But when we are at home, sometimes our neighbor want to talk with us, and sometimes our baby crying, sometimes our pet is barking or our pet is meow. So we get a disruption, get disturbance in this condition. We have to take care of the baby crying. We have to silence the dog. We have to feed the cat. We have to meet the neighbor that came to our house that only just say, "I borrow your hammer." Okay, that's the creating working condition that is tiring. So many people said that I would like to work at the office because working at home is mixed between life at home and working. So this is the burnout of disturbance in the work-life balance. And then the challenge, employee development. This condition also creating hybrid work is very hard for a new employee to enter the culture of the office, culture of the organization, because there is no meeting. They didn't know how to adapt with the office, with the organization. So even so for the new employee, it's very hard to develop. It's very hard to develop to do the same with standard with the past employee. And then loss of relationship. The attenuation of relationship and interaction was also named as the top challenge of remote work. The desire to connect and interact with co-worker again is also seen to be incentive for employee to return to work. This is the reality because humans are social people. We need to meet our friend. We need to talk with our friend. That's not enough when we are talking using Zoom. We need to meet them. We need to interact in the reality. So many people choose to return to work. And then lost in-person innovation and collaboration. The loss in person innovation and collaboration is mean we cannot get the innovation that exactly we get in the whiteboarding session when we do meeting. We cannot create a problem solving or brainstorming just like when we have on office meeting. And then technical issue. Technical issue, employee who never have an experience of remote working might find difficult since they are not used to using technology and communication in the internet and doesn't have adequate digital infrastructure. This is happened when we are in the COVID-19 pandemic. Many people are not ready to be to work at home. They don't have internet connection. Their place are in the blank spot. There is no in the blank spot. No way. There's no way to get a internet connection, or maybe simply they don't have a tool. They don't have a they don't have a laptop or something that create a technical barrier when we are doing a hybrid or remote work. So the solution, when we are talking about hybrid work, there is a two-side solution. First, in the personal, in the individual side. Individual need to develop new level of self-discipline that have provide the rule-based ritual and routine imposing by visiting the office every day. Individual need to develop self-discipline. Self-discipline is important because when we do a hybrid or remote work, actually we are the one who manage our time. And if we are not self-disciplined, we sometimes just postpone our work. We don't do our work in the right time, and then suddenly we have to work from morning to night to evening because we are so slow, and then we have to chase the deadline, and then this create a fatigue for our in working. So self-discipline is very important. And then encourage boundary setting and routine to improve working and prevent overwork. Boundary setting. We have to have a boundary setting. We have to have a cubicle, an area that can separate us from our home, from our home life. So when we are working at home, we still feel just like in the office. Maybe you create a cubicle, or maybe you create something that can create a boundary, so you don't feel that you mix between work and uh, housework. And then we need to develop the skill and culture need in the remote working condition. We have to improve our skill and understanding the culture. We should do just like respecting in the communication in the remote communication, and we have to raise our skill in the technology, and then also improve digital skill, just like mastering ethic, just like a video conference and instant messaging. And also we have to understand and we have to mastering in the cloud computing for easy doing transferring data from us to the office. In the management side, manager need to change their leadership to incorporate practice that develop social and emotional awareness of employee regardless their location. In the fact is, manager also have to change in the hybrid working. They cannot just do just like in the traditional office. We have to also develop a social and emotional awareness. That doesn't mean that when you are as a boss, you can call him in the 9 p.m. So we have to develop social and emotional awareness of employee while they are remote. And then put time for team cohesion and organizational belonging, including face-to-face time. We have to create a team cohesion. We have to coordinate our team to create a cohesion and create a belonging feel to have the organizational. That's also just like face-to-face time. So we have to keep our team in the cohesion, in the coordination. And then facilitating networking and relationship built across the organization. We have to create a networking and relationship. Maybe just like facilitating just like social media that designed for the office. And then organize a wider support network to compensate the loss of informal learning. We have to support network to compensate loss of informal learning. Loss of informal learning is happen when we don't meet people. So this is the example. When I know computer, but when I see my friend, he working on something that I didn't know, so I want to learn. I want to learn from him. That's not mandatory, but I still want to learn from him. It's voluntary learning. That's called informal learning. In informal learning, we can get in. We are learning by voluntary because of we see other person do something that we want. But if we don't see something, we don't want to do something too. So when we are live in the office, we get information that not only that mandatory to us, but we also get from other source and from informal condition. So when we are creating a hybrid working, we the office have to organize a network that can compensate. This creates like a forum in the internet or something that can give somebody can share something and the other can follow, or maybe can give people how to express himself. And then physical layout of office also need to change to encourage different type of social interaction, as well as focus time when they are in use. When we are talking about hybrid working, we still need an office. So we have to change, we have to arrange the position of office that can be easier for the remote worker to work at the office. And then the technology need to be assessed not just as functional requirement, but also the social impact of using this tool. We have to think about social impact, sociological impact. So please do not do just like maybe just like what I said, that maybe we want to do meeting. We have technology for meeting, but we have to think about the condition. We have to think about the social condition for the employee. We cannot just simply just do meeting every time. We can just send the paper, send the text anytime. We still have to think about the time when we are working. And then ensure effective coordination of tasks and task related communication. We have to make sure that coordination of task and task related communication is effective. We have to have a communication line, and also we have to do just like maintain the schedule and etc. And then pay special attention to creativity, brainstorming, and problem solving tasks. This is the most problem when we are working in the hybrid or future or remote working. Brainstorming is not easy. It's different when we are just working together. We can simply just do brainstorming. Oh, what is your idea? What do you want? What about this? But when we are talking about the teleconference, is sometimes people are just leave it follow the manager. So it's so very important to maintain the creativity, brainstorming, and problem solving in the hybrid working. Okay, I guess that's my presentation. I return to Ms. Novita.
Thank you so much for Mr. Adi Nugroho. And then we have, we go to the next session for Q&A session. First question, we have the question from Mr. Jonathan. How can companies strike a balance between fostering collaboration and maintaining employee well-being in the context involving remote work and hybrid model, and what role do emerging technology play in shaping the future of the workforce? Thank you.
Okay. How companies strike a balance between fostering collaboration and maintaining employee well-being under context. Okay. Maintaining well-being is very important when we are talking about the remote work, because well-being is, we cannot see directly what is the employee want. So how to maintain the employee well-being? We need to provide a system that can give employee feedback to the company. And also, what role do emerging technology play in shaping the future of the workforce? Then emerging technology is shaping us, especially in the communication. So in the future of workforce, we get information faster, and also people get easier to provide in to get to deliver their job or their research faster in the by the future technology. And also the future technology can reduce the time of training by just like VR on AR, that can reduce the cost of training and cost of have to send trainer to training employee. This is the role of technology in the future. Okay, that's my answer.
Okay, thank you. And then the last question from Ms. Kayla. What strategy can organization adopt to harness the benefit of remote work and hybrid model, ensuring a seamless integration of technology, fostering team cohesion, and promoting employee engagement in the rapidly evolving landscape of work dynamics? Thank you.
What strategy can organization adopt
Yes.
to harness benefit of remote work and hybrid model? Okay, I have talking before. The strategy of organization to adopt to get a benefit of remote working and hybrid model, we must to maintain the communication. The most important is to maintain the communication, to maintain the cohesion between employee and employer, to maintain the cohesion between team, so they not separate. They still can be connect using the available method, just like Zoom or something. They have to do they still have to get connect, and then also we have to maintain our schedule, that we have to understand and to respect the socio-cultural of the employee. So we don't give them too much work, or maybe not too much work, but work that not that not correct, timing that not correct in the delivering of work. Please don't send work in the 9 o'clock p.m. Please don't call us in the night, because when we do remote work, we think that because we don't go to office, so we can do working every time. This is not correct. That create a working fatigue. So that's how to get the benefit of remote work and hybrid model. And then the promoting employee engagement in the rapid evolving landscape of work dynamic. Okay, when we are talking about employee engagement, when we are talking remote technology, we can get employee to work better because they also can get information in everywhere. We can get employee in everywhere. We can get employee, we can get worker in everywhere. So we don't have to uh, to get a barrier from our location, but we can get worker from a remote location, maybe just like if we need specialized technology from maybe from German, we can contact German people to work with us in remotely if we can pay them, or maybe if we want to get a cheaper worker, we can go to the country that have a cheaper price than us. Okay, that's my answer.
Okay, thank you for answering. I think it's very clear answer from Professor. And I guess no one else asking again. Before I close this event, we will go to the next session for time documentation. Okay, sesi foto. Okay, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for your keen cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of webinar today. We would like to say to Mr. Adi Nugroho and Ms. Jella Askarova for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At last, we hope to have more collaboration in the future with all of other. Okay, the webinar for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye.
Bye bye.